Hi guys, it's Friday. Welcome to Wasted Lunch. Toaster just popped, which means my boy Vinny is running to get his Pop-Tarts. The boy is addicted to the shit. He would take Pop-Tarts intravenously if he had to. In fact, sometimes I wonder, maybe I should check him for needle marks. But anyways, what's happening Friday? It's wasted lunchtime. Got my coffee, got my smokes, got my vapor, so I can try and pretend and do the right thing every now and then. Now, lately, the last few episodes I've been talking about, well, yesterday I talked about coffee, but last few episodes I've been talking about Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, those movies and that stuff. But I took a break from watching the Lord of the Rings movies, even though I watched the first one the other day. But I did not watch the second one last night, so I'm not even going to talk about it. Because I took a little break. I had two daughters. They got surgified yesterday, so didn't blow up the TV last night. Hi, how we doing? Somebody popped on here. They need to hop on there, start textifying or commenting and rapport with me, all right? But, yeah, anyways, so they got surgery and ended up camping out in the traditional film watching room of the house, so didn't watch Lord of the Rings. And we could watch it now. But, so I didn't watch them, so I'm not going to review them. So what's going to happen probably today, eventually I'm going to get around to it, is random subject time again. Yes, that is where your beloved host, beloved, handsome, dashing, exquisite,
smelly,
tasty, lovely host, me, where I am subjected to coming up with answers and information about random subjects. It's not something that I've gone over these things ahead of time to come up with ideas about or anything like that. Boom, random subjects, and I talk about them. That's just how that works. You might have seen when I did a 13 random before, which was kind of silly, kind of weird, kind of goofy. Some people chimed in. It was fun. So, going to do that again today. But yeah, it's Friday. Oven Standard Time tells me it's 11:48. And so I'm on a little bit early today. But either way, I'm going to be rocking here for a while. Just blew through a whole bunch of coffee already. I don't know what's going on with me this morning. I've been drinking coffee at a pretty fast rate. Wouldn't you say so, dear? Talking to my producer.
What?
Wouldn't you say I've been drinking coffee pretty fast today?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, which means I'm going to be visiting the restroom quite a bit today also. I mean, that's just how it is. My son Vinny over here. Sean, what's up, dude? How you doing, brother? Love at you, dude. Hope you're doing fantastical. My son Vinny, he's over to the side of me here. He almost had a stroke because he grasped a Pop-Tart package out of a frosted chocolate fudge, pardon me, Vincent, out of a Halloween package. Halloween package that's been opened from the bottom, like that. Somebody opened it from the bottom. Don't know why. Sean, I'm doing pretty good. I'm a little tweaked out on coffee, but I'm doing all right so far. But yeah, Vinny grabbed a Pop-Tart out here, you know Vinny, and expected it to be a Halloween chocolate fudge with a very scary design on it. And what did it end up being? Let's see that.
well, it was like,
We can't see the other half. Is the other one? You already ate the
it's
other
in
one.
my stomach.
Here, grab one of them chunks, Vinny. That'll illustrate what kind of Pop-Tart it is. Okay, it's chocolatey on one side, right? Okay, it's a twist, a split. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Chunk of it went in my ashtray. I know that's not your plate. Sorry.
That is my plate.
Well, I mean, I know that's your plate, not your Pop-Tart. So anyways, he ended up getting what the hell did we say those were? Splits?
Yeah.
Whatever they are. They're two different kind of flavors. It's a sugar cookie flavor and, what? What else?
Chocolate.
Or is just a frosting different on the top half? Are the innards different at all? They are?
This one's more chocolatey and the other one's more frosty.
Okay, so one side is frosty, one's chocolatey. Vinny had some major stress when he opened that up and found that out. He said that was real stress for him. Vincent has a Pop-Tart problem.
I wouldn't say it's much of a problem.
It is a problem. You know what? And that's the first sign of addiction when you refuse to admit it.
It's not a problem.
See, he's saying he does not have a problem. And we all know from the classics. What's up, Joe? We all know from learning about alcoholism and people with drug problems, the first thing they do is deny they have a problem in the first place.
No, they don't.
And Vincent is sitting here denying that he has a Pop-Tart problem. But when that...
Have another Pop-Tart?
No, save them. They're for breakfast. When we run out of Pop-Tarts and stuff, Vincent gets this puppy dog face. You hear him whining right now? Gets this face, this look on his face, like his whole world is crumbling around him. And it's pitiful. That's how much he likes those damn Pop-Tarts. So, yeah, he's tried just about all of them. But without further ado, guys, I guess I'll hop on my random subject. All right, and you guys want to chime in? Go ahead. You know, like I said, hope everything's going fantastic with you guys right now. Got Joe, what up, dog, and Sean, what up, dude?
Sorry, man.
Random subject first. Words associated with winter: bleak, long, cold. Sometimes unpleasant. However, also with winter, I guess there is a sense of, I don't want to say community. Everybody gets in the house, comes together, you know, there's holidays. Yeah, we got holidays in the wintertime. Where the hell's my pen? I gotta mark these things off, guys. Winter, yeah, I am not bitter. That's a good one, Joe. Freezing, yes, Sean, exactly. And it just, winter seems so long too. Dark, boy, we are just, I'll tell you what, guys, we are just making this really sound grim. Oh, Sean's got Christmas on there. Well, yeah, that's an upbeat thing. But yeah, I guess there's good things.
Yeah, like the snow and sled riding.
Yeah, well, when we actually have snow, that's fun. I like being outside in the snow. If
we don't have snow, go over to like some creek with like frozen over and play on.
Well, I try not to play on frozen creeks.
I do.
But,
in the woods.
You know what? Unlike a lot of adults, you know, that drive, I don't mind the snow. Okay? I am weird in that I look forward to the challenge of driving in that snow. Sound goofy? See, Sean, you're saying you actually enjoy the winter. Well, I'm glad because that stuff seems like it's never going to end sometimes.
My hands and feet didn't turn blue. I think I'd be alright.
Yeah, my wife's hands and feet turn blue, so she doesn't care for it. There's Joe. Super Bowl. That's something that a lot of people get, you know, geeked about. Yeah, that's a positive. Here's what bothers me about the winter, what gets me is when it's just mushy, there's not any snow, and it's just kind of mushy and brown and drippy and goopy, and, you know, I don't mind the beautiful white snow that covers everything and kind of makes everything look perfect, you know, all the junk in my yard gets a nice coating of snow and makes it look like I'm less of a Metro Billy than what I am, and I like that. Okay, I do. I like that. Yes, Sean, there is ice. I don't care for driving on ice. Okay, I'm not a complete sadomasochist here, but I do kind of look forward to the challenge of driving in the snow. You know, and born and raised in Northeast Ohio, you know, eventually you learn after so many years. Hopefully, you learn pretty damn quick through driving. You drive slow. You use the brakes as little as possible, as soft as possible. You make sure you got plenty of time for your turns. You know, these are things that a lot of the people in the South just don't get because they're not used to dealing with that stuff. See, sometimes you see it, other times you don't. Yeah, that ice can be tricky as hell because, you know, what they call the black ice and stuff like that. I mean, the road can look nice and clean. We know that look. When they've scraped the roads real good, they've been salted, and as long as it's warm enough for that salt to do its job, it's got that nice, dark, black, fresh asphalt look. But then there's other times where you got that, and it's ice. Sometimes at night, it can be really hard to tell, too. And then your ass is, you know, doing some figure eights on the road, and that's not cool, is it? I'm going to mark that off, guys. Thanks for the help, guys. Here we go. Honeymoon spots. Honeymoon spots.
Our backyard.
Oh, shit. Sean says last year his brother almost wrecked on the way to school. I'm sorry to hear that. Luckily, he did not, though. Honeymoon spots. My wife says our backyard. What? What do you mean our backyard?
I mean Canton.
Canton. Yeah, we had a nice romantic one-day honeymoon in Canton.
Yes.
Or as some of us say around here, Canton, with no T in it, just a Canton. Yeah. We had a one-day honeymoon in Canton. Vegas. Joe, did you honeymoon in Vegas? Yeah, honeymoon in Vegas. Perfect. Bahamas. Nice. I just seen pictures of a friend of mine was just at. No, scratch that. 2 different friends of mine went to the Bahamas this summer. I saw the pictures on Facebook. Looks absolutely gorgeous. Never been there. Yeah, well, you know, what used to be one of the top, maybe it still is, honeymoon spots in the world, Niagara Falls. Let's see, Sean's got Hawaii. Nice. Oh, Hocking Hills. Is that where you went, Joe? Did you go to Hocking Hills? Hocking Hills is beautiful. I like about Hocking Hills is kind of like a slice of the West here in Ohio. You know, the cliffs, the caves. You know, I think a lot of people don't think that Ohio has some of these grand outdoor spots like that. The cliffs are so cool. All right, Hocking Hills, Joe. Nice. That sounds like a great honeymoon. Sounds like a great place. Like, you know, but you got to be careful with that place. You know, it's dangerous. I remember the first time I went there, I was amazed that there weren't little railings and stuff everywhere and all kinds of safety stuff. I hadn't been to many parks like that. And that's why people get killed out there. You know, they go pissing around on the edge of, you know, very high precipice and, you know. And I'm sure a lot of the people that have been hurt are young adults being a little stupid. But, yeah, Hocking Hills, gorgeous, isn't it? It's, love those cliffs and the rock formations. And then there's some caves. It's a gorgeous place. Could you have Helen turn that down a wee bit? So,
Okay.
I'm just hearing a little too much chipmunks in the background, guys. Yeah, and Here's another vacation. Well, these would be vacation spots. I've heard of people that the husband and the wife. Did she turn it down?
Yeah. I turned it down.
The husband and the wife are really, I've heard of this case. They're not into, or they're into ghost hunting. I've heard of people going on ghost hunting honeymoons. Okay, going to haunted locations for their honeymoons. So people get married, they go to Mansfield Reformatory. That's not what I think of as romantic.
She was down by Elton. She's gonna get hit by a car.
Who was?
Noah.
Oh, that's
earlier today.
My dog has not been listening. She's been going astray. We went through 2 shock collars with our dog. You can call them cruel or whatever, but if it keeps our dog from getting ran over, that to me is not cruel.
And we didn't use, there's 2 other settings. There's a beeping noise and a vibration.
Yeah.
We only used the
she
shock.
She lost one of them, and then the other one got broke, right?
Yeah.
She lost one of her zapper collars, and then the other one got broke.
And the shock was only used when she
went
over to the dog or out of our yard.
Yeah, I mean.
But the beeping one was always used to say, hey, it's time to come in the house.
She doesn't have one of those collars, so now our dog thinks I can do whatever the hell I want.
Unless we're out there with her.
Yeah, because I'm not going to have to face the consequences. So our dog,
just like a kid.
Runs astray, yeah. All right, honeymoon spots, I'll consider that done. Things you buy for kids. Now, guys, I don't know if any of these subjects popped up on my other random subject things, to be honest. I don't know. I hope not. But things you buy for kids, all kinds of stuff. And this all, of course, depends on the person and the age of the child, Bicycles. Bicycles are pretty high up there on the list, aren't they? Bikes, video games, video games, bicycles, footballs, dollies, all that kind of stuff. And then there's probably, people out there buy their kids guns. Country folk buy their kids guns.
Hello.
Maybe livestock. Maybe there's some very strange parents out there buy their kids, I don't know. Well, I don't want to even go to the dark side thinking about what some people buy their kids. There's probably some maniacs out there who buy their kids daggers and stilettos. What do you guys buy your kids? Joe, you got kids. What do you get them kids? Spend a lot of money on them kids? Probably. But books. I get my kids books. Sometimes they don't want them. Sometimes they're not too excited about them. But I get them books a lot. Some of them appreciate books more than others, right?
Mm-hmm.
Things for kids. Okay. Here's a good subject right here. And I don't know if I did this one before. Honey, do you remember me doing the random subject thing?
Yes.
Did I do things that can kill you?
No.
Things that can kill you, guys.
Your husband.
Yeah, I was going to say spouse. Spouse is a big one.
Your children.
Kids can kill you, too.
Your dog.
Dog. Electrical devices.
Running out of Pop-Tarts.
Running out of Pop-Tarts in our house can get you killed. There's so many things, so many different ways of getting killed, so many awful ways of getting whacked out, isn't there? Then there's things that, I'll tell you, it's something that killed an old fella I knew one time. Lightning. Yeah, lightning will kill your ass. That's a good one, Sean. I'll tell you a story, a true story. I lived in a neighborhood one time that was let's say, economically unsound. Oh, volcanic eruption, yeah, that'll kill your ass too, for sure. I lived in a neighborhood that was poor, okay? Because I was poor. Lived in a very poor neighborhood, and there was a lady, a young lady, who made money the old-fashioned way, through the world's oldest profession. You know what I mean, right? That's how she made money on the side, I guess. And on top, and underneath. But anyways, what does this have to do with things that'll kill you? I'll tell you what this has to do with things that'll kill you. One day, this lady was with a client. Okay, this was at an apartment complex, guys. Lived in some housing projects. And the emergency squad, the ambulances and stuff were called, right? Well, what happened was she had a client who was a very old fellow, and he was paying for her services, and ended up dying in the middle of the services that this young lady provided. So, having too much fun could kill you too, and that's what happened. This guy paid for, I don't know if he had a heart attack, a stroke, both. I don't know. A stroke, yeah. Well, a different kind of stroke than he was paying for. Anyways, he left feet first out of there, and that is what happened to him. So, yeah, true story. That can get you killed too, in more ways than one. You know, you got to be careful with that stuff. You know, use some protection or whatever. But yeah, that happened. Old dude ended up getting wheeled out of there, and I don't know if she got paid for that or not. Maybe she rifled through his wallet. I don't know. I don't know how that came about.
Still haven't gotten out of the habit of, you know, when you used to hire, because you still leave 20s on my bedside table.
Oh, gosh. Sean says, trees falling. Yes, and you know what, Sean? That's funny, because it's not as freak of an accident as a lot of people would think, you know.
Only if it happens to a freak.
I remember a couple years ago, a lady at Sippo Park, I believe, had a tree limb or tree fall on her. I think it was during summertime, but what's weird was I read about another case just a couple weeks before that where somebody had a tree fall on them. Yeah, that's bad shit. You know, I got some trees around my property that we worry about falling on us. But yeah, that can get you killed. Maybe the next subject will be happier. Let's see. Things that can kill you, we'll consider that done. Things to do on a date. Go out to eat. Make out. Speaking of making out, you know, you always got in the movies, the couple goes out, you know, somewhere to... Oh my gosh. Oh wow, I'm back on. Got an interruption there. I had to take a phone call, guys.
Probably heard it.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard it or not. Well, I think this pauses, guys.
I'm messing around.
Yeah. So, I just got asked a question when that interruption happened. Here's my... Alright, back on again. Yeah, had to take a phone call, and of course, you know, I'm broadcasting via my phone. So, no choice on that. Apparently my...
Do you know where the ibuprofen is?
No, I picked something up off the floor. It looks over here. Hold on, guys. I'll be with you here. No, this is what I picked up. That's not it.
Well, maybe it'll help my head just the same.
Yeah, guys, sorry about the interruption. I got a call. Here's my 10-year-old son lost a tooth and swallowed it. So, he's wondering how the tooth fairy is going to address that. So
she's gonna extract it.
So yeah. So I guess he's went poop a few times since, or a couple times since it's happened.
Why?
I hope he's not going through the poop. No, I don't think so. Why? What? Why am I saying this?
Yes.
I don't know. It's interesting, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, it's disgusting.
The fact that he might be looking for his tooth.
I'm joking.
Oh.
He's not looking for his tooth, but I guess he's went to the bathroom a couple times and he's asking. And then I got asked the question over the phone because it's going to be over here. What will the tooth fairy do? I said we will write a note to the tooth fairy. Kind of, I don't know, an IOU to the tooth fairy kind of thing. Anyways, Sean, you once swallowed a penny. Did that change your life? Okay, yeah. Sorry, had to throw a pun out there. Oh, what was I talking about? Oh, I was talking about the things to do on a date. That's what I was talking about.
Get a very small cup of coffee and no meal.
I think you've griped about that before on here.
I don't know, but you're never gonna live that one down.
Let's see, Sean was 3 when he swallowed a penny. Well, did you swallow a penny and poop out a dime? Anything like that, you know? No, if you'd have done that, you'd have been swallowing more change, sure. What I was talking about was things to do on a date. And what I was talking about was, you know, in the movies, they always, you know, these teeny boppers will get in their car and they will go out to, like, Lookout Point or something like that. Isn't that what they're usually called?
Yeah.
They'll go to some spot. It's out in the country, overlooks the city, you know. Romantic, secluded, and then, of course, you got the maniac killer or something. You know. Let's see.
I'm gonna go lay down. My head is killing me.
Let's see. Wish my wife a good nap.
See you
Have a good nap.
An hour.
Okay. Let's see. Sean says you pay on a date. Yes, you usually do pay on a date. My wife was complaining 2 seconds ago about our first.
A very cheap cup of
about
coffee.
me being a cheapo on our first date.
A small cup of coffee
because
and no meal.
Our big date was some coffee. Okay, I guess that's bad. You know, a cup of coffee, some conversation, visiting a park. You know, cheap date. Okay. Ended up getting me married. You know, how's that work out for you? Yeah, things you do on a date. Sean, you're saying you pay on a date? Yes. Usually, try and throw the moves on a chick on a date. You know, try and get suave on a date. Take them out to dinner. Old-fashioned one. Dinner and a movie. That one hasn't changed. That one's still popular. Dinner and a movie, right? People still do that. Take a girl out, get something to eat, watch a movie, or watch a movie and then get something to eat. Of course, nowadays there's, let's see, buy drinks. Yeah, end up buying drinks. That's another one that's always been popular. You've seen the old movies, you know, the guy down the bar will, you know. Let's see, Joe says try and get them to make bad decisions. Yes, well, yeah, exactly. That's what the buying drinks is a prelude to, isn't it? More drinks, more drinks, more drinks. Because us guys, we're ready to make bad decisions from sober. I mean, we can be dogs at times, can't we? Of course, I'm sure sometimes it works the other way around. Let's see. My wife said I must have done something right since I still I must have done something right since she still married me. Yes. So even though she complains that we had a cheap first date, which we did, had a very cheap first date, but we still got married. Went to buy us supersized coffees, or so I thought, and they ended up giving us these piddly ass little coffees. So yeah, coffee in the park. Of course, then I was dating, but not wanting to get into the whole. When we went on a date, I was not looking for any serious relationship. So, coffee, drink coffee or hang out, have a barbecue, sometime, whatever, have a beer or something. I was not looking to get engaged or married when we went out. So that's my excuse for only getting her coffee, period. She's cost me a lot more than coffee over the years after that. So she got some of the best years of my life. And thanks to her, they were some of the best years of my life. Dates, yeah. Some people go mountain climbing. They do that rock climbing shit. Some people do that on dates. My brother lives in Hawaii. He's trying to make himself one of them active dudes. He's got one of them active girlfriends, so they go on dates like rock climbing and shit. Rock climbing. It all depends on when the date is, too. If it's a first date, the 50th date, or whatever, because people go out on dates for a long time. People go out for a while, and sometimes people do, like I was talking about my brother, they do the extreme dates. Hey, baby, let's go skydiving. Date. I guess that'd be considered a date, people do that stuff, too, though. I don't know, maybe that's not a date, more than of a big event. I don't know. Let's pass a date. Got romantic. Let's see. Oh, things you store items in or on. I sure I never did this one. I'll tell you what, in my house, things you store items on is damn near everything. I can look around me and see items stored on all kinds of stuff. Got a card table behind me. Now, this card table popped up for a birthday party weeks ago, right? We put it up because we didn't have enough room for cakes and people to sit down and eat and all that good stuff. And now this card table is still set up, and it is now collecting things. That is what empty table surfaces collect in my house. Everything. Yeah, coffee table. Yes, Joe. I don't know about your house, buddy, but my coffee table is not just for coffee. Safe. Good one. Yes, people store stuff in a safe. Yeah. Shelves. Yeah, you got shelves. We got we call this a pantry. It's kind of a stand-up, long, tall cabinet thing. It's where we keep our dry goods. Dry goods. I sound like I'm from the old West and shit. Garage, yes. The garage. Lots of stuff in our garage. It's supposed to be my shop, but it's got storage unit. Dang, you guys are good. Just coming out with all kinds of stuff. You know what? I've used storage unit a couple times. Not too much. Usually, keeping with the... you guys have heard me refer to myself as a Metro Billy. That tends to be one of the problems we have, is hanging on to stuff. People of my, I don't know what you would say, cultural background. Some of us tend to hang on to stuff. I'm going to blame it on my culture, damn it. There you go. I'm blaming it on that. That's why I have so much stuff. Sean has stuff under his bed. We're not going to talk about your magazine collection, are we, Sean? Boy, it's funny. I got busted when I was a kid. Had me some Playboy magazines, a stack of them like that, which was quite a treasure to have as a young boy. And my parents found it, and I remember seeing my parents and how they let me know about it was, first they seized the magazines from under my bed. So they did that on purpose, so I would just go in there someday and look under my bed for one of those girly magazines, and then boom, they'd be gone. What's funny is I didn't read them like I actually read the articles in them. Yes, I like science fiction and political writing. No, I didn't read that shit, but I didn't look at them very often, so I never even noticed. Well, then my parents got sick of waiting around for, to see me acting strange, I guess, like, because I would notice they weren't there. So, I'll let you know how embarrassing it was, Sean. One day we were sitting around the dinner table, which was rare. My dad worked afternoons, so a lot of the times we didn't end up having an actual dinner table kind of thing. And after we ate, then my parents asked me how my library under my bed was doing. And I'm sure I was a few shades of red that day, because then I'm like, oh gosh, they found my stash of magazines. That was pretty embarrassing. Then they let me know they took them from me. I didn't even know they were gone because, honestly, I didn't even look. I guess they were gone for days. But my parents couldn't take it anymore, so they had to say something. And what's funny about that is I actually did not get in trouble. I think my parents had so much fun seeing me embarrassed about it. Maybe they were just like, we can't punish this boy. He just provided us with so much enjoyment by embarrassing the hell out of him in front of everybody. No, Sean, they never gave them back. No, that was the last. Yeah, I never saw those magazines again. And here, if you guys don't believe me that I didn't check out those magazines very often, I will explain why I did not check out those magazines very often. Maybe you'll believe me after this. I got this whole stack of Playboys. This is back. There weren't smartphones and shit. There wasn't no internet where you could just click and look at anything you wanted to in the world. But, so, the magazines, that was a big deal back in the days. 80s, 90s, whatever. And, got them from an older friend of my older sister. One of her friends, male dude, gave me this stack of these magazines, and I'm like, oh wow, I got this huge stack of Playboy magazines, right? Well, then I get them home, get some, close the door, get to looking at these things, and most of the pictures were cut out. Dude cut out most of these pictures and pinned them up on a wall in a garage or something. So there wasn't a whole hell of a lot to look at, guys. So I just enjoyed the fact that, I got all these Playboy magazines, but there were barely any pictures in there. So I just enjoyed the fact that I had, those magazines from the adult realm. I now possess them, I guess, is the enjoyment I got out of them. There weren't many pictures left in there because dude cut them out and pinned them up. Did I get new ones? No, I did not. No. Well, eventually I ended up getting a hold of some more of those literature from the adult world, but did not stash it under my bed. We'll put it that way. I learned from that. I got smarter than that. I found better places to stash my magazines after that. So I learned. But yeah, it was pretty embarrassing because they brought it up at the table in front of my siblings. And all they referred to it was as my library. And boy, did my parents enjoy bringing that up. But I didn't get yelled at, so I can't complain. That was pretty good. They just took my stuff and didn't beat me or anything like that, so I can't complain. Even if they would have beat me, what the hell am I going to do? Complain and get beat some more, So, but that's what happened with that. But yeah, you better believe when I got a hold of stuff, I did not hide it under my bed after that. Did my siblings think it was funny? Oh, hell yeah, they thought it was funny. Yeah, of course. And, you know, with the situation, with the way Mom and Dad revealed it, you know, it was a free-for-all anyways. It was a go ahead and laugh at your brother thing, you know. And I think that was pretty much my punishment, was getting embarrassed by it. And it was embarrassing, but it felt good not getting my ass beat also. You know, because getting your ass beat does not feel good, especially when you had a dad whose arms looked like tree trunks. You know, get paddled from my dad, you felt that for days. It was not a pleasant experience. But those things you store items in or on, that's what that subject was. Let's try the next one. Things you do every day. Bathroom. Going to the bathroom is something you do every day, no matter what. Bathroom, a lot. Usually number one, I'd say, and then sometimes number two, but going to the bathroom is something you do every day. Eating is something you do every day. Sleeping, usually you do that every day, only that's more at night, I guess. Yeah, Sean just hopped on there with the eating. I know there's a whole hell of a lot of things out there that I wish I did every day, that I don't. You know, isn't that way for everybody, though? But, yeah, eating, yeah, you agree. Let's see, you know, things you do every day. You know, and besides the eating and the drinking and the pooping and the peeing, not trying to get crude here, guys. These are the facts of life. Things you do every day, obviously. Some people, more disciplined people, work out every day. I am not one of those. I used to be. Cleansing yourself, yes, Sean. That's something that a person does every day. Which brings up, yeah, I was thinking brushing your teeth. Brush my teeth, you know, twice a day. I probably am supposed to brush it 3 or 5 times a day. I don't know if you're supposed to brush after every meal. I don't do that. I brush in the morning and the evening, you know. I guess I'm a slacker there. And like a lot of people, it's not just me. I know it. I've read about the statistics. I don't floss as often as I should. Okay, I don't. You know, not as often as I should. But yeah, some people work out every day. Some people go for that jog every day. Some people, you know, lift weights every day. They get on their treadmill every day. And good for them. God bless them, you know. I'm not one of them. At one point in time I was a workout addict. Like a lot of things, I am not good at moderation when it comes to hobbies and things of that nature. I usually go whole hog. So that's how it was when I worked out too. I worked out every day and too much every day. I lifted too much weight too many times, ran, walked, too much cardio. I was overboard with the working out things. Let's see. Let's go to the next one, shall we? Things you get in the mail. Things you get in the mail. Nowadays, people get a lot of stuff. Oh, Sean hopped in there with some people read every day. You're right, Sean. Some people do read every day. And you know what? Most people read, even if it's not a magazine or a book, people tend to read something every day, right? Well, provided they can read. There are people who can't read. But how about this one, Sean? Do you got something for things you get in the mail? Report cards. Oh, shit. You're already on it, dude. Yes. Report cards. Which reminds me, we have one child that is wondering where their report card is. Never got it. Never got it. Speaking of which, one of my nephews, I'm not going to mention any names, didn't return a textbook to his school. This honky never got his report card because he did not turn in a textbook. Turns out, get this, my nephew ended up donating, I don't know if it was math book, English book, physics, whatever the hell it was a textbook, donated it to the Goodwill, I believe. Goodwill or Salvation Army, one of the two. Donated it. Sean's asking, did they get it and hide it? Good question, Sean. That's possible. And I would question that too. I think, except our daughter, who I'm talking about, and the whole report card thing is, she is worried sick that maybe she didn't pass and move up to the next grade. And that's the only thing that makes me not doubt or not think that, maybe she's pulling a fast one, because she is seriously concerned about that. So, or else, yeah, I would be thinking more devious stuff like that. Things you get in the mail, though, I mean, nowadays you get all kinds of stuff in the mail. Maybe not from the United States Postal Service, but I mean, if you consider UPS mail, well, okay, maybe you won't. But yeah, packages, parcels, electronics, DVDs, CDs, MP3 players, or does anybody even use MP3 players? I don't know. Maybe that's old school. I don't know. At my age, I don't keep up with the cutting edge of technology stuff, so maybe people don't even use MP3 players. Gifts, that's a good one, yeah. You order somebody a gift through the mail, get it sent right to their house. I've done that with my older kids who live out of state. Gotten them gifts, order it online, and boom, it goes straight to their house. I don't have to package anything. Not saying that I wouldn't do that for my kids, but the convenience of ordering something online for somebody who lives out of state, the convenience of that is you don't have extra time to wait. You can order it, Amazon, that's a big one. That's the big place. Order that stuff on Amazon, get it sent straight to their house. That's a lot faster than going to the store, picking something out, packaging it yourself, and sending it to them. Maybe a little less personal, but yeah, it works. It's good. I mean, it's good for so many reasons. That's why Amazon is huge now. I remember the first time I heard about Amazon one time was on some kind of news show thing. And all they talked about Amazon at the time, this many years ago, was that they were mainly, what they dealt with were books. Amazon has definitely grown past that, haven't they? Now they got some food service or something too. But, yeah, gifts are a great one, yeah. Mail is a hell of a handy service, and it usually works. Although the mail did let me down last month. I sent a very, very important payment on something, and these people did not get it. And so now I'm going to have to redo the check and everything else because it failed. It usually doesn't. Usually the United States Post Office is very good. When I was a younger man, I worked for them for a while. For about a year, I worked for the post office. I had a great time working for the post office. It was fun. And very dependable, but every now and then you're going to have slip-ups, and that must be what happened with a payment I sent out to somebody. And so, not happy about that. I'll mark that one off, though. Next subject is things you save up to buy. Now, the first thing I think is a car. A car. Well, that's something to save up to buy. And hell, your last answer to the last one subject, gifts. That's something a lot of people save up to buy, because gifts, of course, can be small, large, cheap, expensive. So, So I'm going to steal your answer from the last one, Sean, and say gifts. I know I've had to save up to buy stuff for my wife and for my kids. Let's see. Magazines? You save money to buy magazines? Especially probably subscriptions. Or, no, that was probably an answer to the last one. Sean, what are some of the things you save up to buy? I said cars. I would say that's probably pretty high on the list of things people save to buy. I'd say a house too, but the whole house buying process for most people is having good credit, which in a way that's kind of saving. Building up your credit is kind of saving in a way, but yeah, cars are one of the big things people save up to buy, and with our home, one of the things we're going to have to save up to buy are appliances. And I know I'm not in the minority there. I know there's a lot of people out there who are saving up to just buy appliances. Refrigerator, washer. We need a washer. Ours is leaking now. A house. There you go, Sean. Yeah, a house. People saving up to get a home. Yeah, your house and your car, those are the biggest purchases a person makes. Is their house and then their car. For me, I've never bought a brand new car. I'll admit it. I've never bought a brand new car. So, have I saved up to buy a car? Yes, I have. But I've never bought a car that I had to make payments on. You say that's good, or you can say that's bad, because I've never bought a car that was, in fantastic shape. Buy cars usually that run, because I don't want to buy a car it's a fixer-upper, because I am not an automotive work enthusiast. That is not my hobby, working on cars. Working on cars is a means to an end with me. I only work on them to get them running. But yeah, saving up to buy cars, houses, and like I said, I stole your answer to the last one, gifts, because we have bought some gifts for our kids that were not cheap. We've had to save up to buy them a video game. Video games aren't cheap. You buy a new game, shit's expensive. And save up to buy my wife presents before. My wife's so much better at buying gifts than I am too. Terrible at buying gifts. My wife has something built in her to where she can pick out the perfect gifts for anybody. She's great at buying gifts. I am not good at buying gifts. It's hard for me to find that right thing. So I'm gonna scratch that one off. That one's done. Now, still wonder, like I said, if any of these are the same from when I did a random 13 that one time, I apologize. Things you sit in or on, because that sounds damn familiar, dude. Sounds really familiar, like I did this one before. Maybe I did. I should have went back over the old video to make sure, but I didn't do it. Things you sit in or on. Sitting in is a car, right? Now, and here's something that I probably would have never considered something you sit in, except for one time, Sean, when you were on the show, commenting before, and that was sitting in a helicopter, because you run on a helicopter. I remember you telling me about that. That's one thing I've never sat in, but, I imagine you were sitting in there. A roller coaster, yes. Roller coaster is something you sit in, and sometimes once you sit in there and they close it up, you're wishing you weren't sitting in it anymore. When you start going up that hill, then you get up to the top of that hill and look around and say, why did I do this? Why did I do this? I've done that before. When I I was younger. I have not been on a roller coaster in years, so I don't know how I'd feel about riding a roller coaster right now. There was a time in my life where I absolutely loved them. I don't know if that time is now. I got a problem with not being in control of vehicles that I'm riding in. I think that's one of my problems with airplanes, or take some of the enjoyment out, is because, shit goes wrong in there. There ain't nothing I could do. Ferris wheel, yes. Ride in a Ferris wheel, that's fun. What's cool about the Ferris wheel is you start out low and then gradually get to work your way up and get to see the park from, different heights. And depending on, I've never been on a super, super gigantic Ferris wheel. I'd like to go on a super gigantic one. Ski lift, damn, you're full of good ones here, Sean. Yes, ski lift's a good one. And that's funny, my wife and I just talked about ski lifts. Just the other day, I asked her if she'd ever been on a ski lift. She said no. I've been on a ski lift. I was on a ski lift at a water park up at Brandywine, which is a ski park here in Ohio. They also used to have a Dover Lake water park. I think it was called Dover Lake. Maybe it was just Dover Water Park. I think it was Dover Lake. Anyways, you use a ski lift for that too, so you could go up the hill and then ride these big slides down. That was fun. Rode a ski lift for that. Sit in or on. And of course, there's chairs, couches, and that. Some people sit on cars. Some people aren't happy when other people sit on their car. Seen that. Bus, yeah. Bus, sit in there. You probably don't want to sit on a bus, but in the bus, yeah, you're right. I've done a lot of sitting in buses. I was a bus rider my whole school career. Yeah, Sean, you got all kinds of good ones. I'm dried up here, man. Another swig of coffee for me, that's what I need. Maybe I need to sit in a whole tub of coffee. Maybe that would help me, I don't know. Sit in a bobsled or on a sled. We talked about winter earlier. I sat on them quite a few times. That's fun as hell. See, and that's, couch, yes. Sit on a couch. Sometimes you sit on and in a beanbag chair. You ever sit on one of those? You kind of sit in them too. They squish. And then you're kind of hugged by the beanbag chair. Yes. The lap. Yes. That's something I haven't sat on for a long time, Sean, because of my size. Most people would not appreciate me sitting on their lap. Okay. I have many a tot sitting on my lap with all the kids I have. And a lot of holding little kids. And you know what? Lately, my youngest daughter has been carrying around her baby doll, whose name is Jimmy, who she says is actually me and my wife's kid. So we have an extra kid that we didn't know about. And now that baby has to sit on my lap quite a bit. She'll just bring Jimmy in and boom. All of a sudden you're expected to hold Jimmy and his pacifier or bottle, whatever you want to call it. And let's see, unless I'm seeing Santa Claus. Well, you know what, Sean? If I see Santa Claus, he better have sturdy legs, buddy. Because, yeah, I'm not a light fella. He better have real sturdy legs. But guess what? Let's see, sit in and on. Dude, that was my last subject. Look at that. Went through 10 random subjects. You know what? I need to keep this paper so that if I do the random subject thing again, which I probably will, I need to keep that paper so I can look at them and be like, okay, well, I didn't do these, or I already did these, so I need to do something different, So I need to keep that paper. Oh no, I hear some murmuring in the other room. Like I said, two of my daughters, they got their tonsils out the other day. Is everything all right in there? Huh? Mom is laying down. I'm in charge right now. Let's see. I could sit on Vinny's lap. Oh gosh. He probably could hold me, dude. He probably could hold me, even though he's a lot smaller and more wiry than myself. He probably could hold me. I don't think it'd be very comfortable for long. But and to be honest with you, I don't know if I'd be comfortable sitting on his lap. I really, the last time I sat on dude's lap, speaking of which, this is an odd story here. Went to a campground out of Newcomers Town. Okay. This is a very hillbilly campground too. Very hillbilly campground. And my brother and I were stumbling around the campground. And this campground was one of them ones where they didn't have street lamps or any kind of lights or anything. The only lights at night in this campground were if people had lights around their camper and stuff. Other than that, there were no lights. So my brother and I, we had been drinking, stumbling around late at night, and nobody was out doing anything. We figured we would crash somebody's campsite and try and just strike up a conversation to hang out with some random people if they were still up. Well, we found a campsite that had some people who were of the Appalachian, whatever the hell you pronounce it, variety. And we introduced ourselves. They introduced themselves, and one of the fellas, a good-sized hillbilly, told me to come over and sit on his lap. I was a younger man, but still a man. But when he heard my name, asked me to come over and sit on his lap. I was just drunk and crazy enough that I did it. Turns out, this man, because we referred to ourselves as hillbillies, me and my brother did, and he said, you know what, you don't know what hillbilly is. And then he told me who he was. When I sat on his lap, he told me that I had sat on his lap when I was a little kid. Turns out he was one of my dad's cousins. No shit. Here at this random campground, turns out this dude was really my dad's cousin. And was. He wasn't just some old creep trying to get a dude to sit on his lap. He really was my dad's cousin. So, yeah. So, like I said, I'm not in the habit of sitting on dudes' laps. But that night, I was just loaded enough and goofy enough that I actually did. Here it turns out, the guy was not a freak. He was actually a relative of mine. And so that was pretty cool. That was pretty neat. And it was creepy for a second, but then when he told me who he was. Then after that, then we ended up sitting around the fire with these fine folks, which, let's just say it looked like a bunch of bikers. It was cool. Grew up around biker people. My dad, anyways, ended up hanging out with these people. They had homemade raspberry wine. Oh boy. And let's say when the bottle came to me and my brother, it was hard for them to get the bottle back. And my dad's cousin Eric, that was the dude's name. He's like, all right, boys, give me that bottle back. Come on now. Because me and my brother had a great time that night. It was a good time. But, so what you said just brought something up there. But yeah, it's weird how stuff can happen. It's a small world. You can drive around, you can meet 1,000 people and not know any of them, and then one day you can be out somewhere completely foreign to you, and then boom, run into a relative. And then find it out that, hear all the time about people going to Florida and running into people who they know, or they both know the same person. That stuff happens all the time. I mean, my brother lives in Hawaii and met a dude and hangs out with a guy who's from Navarre. You know, how weird's that? You know, dude doesn't live that far from him. I mean, it's pretty weird stuff. You know, Hawaii is as far as you can get from here and still be in the States. And here, you know, my brother's now got a buddy who grew up a few miles from him, or from us, growing up. So it's weird how that works, but it does. It happens. Anyways, it's 12:53 Oven Standard Time. Sorry about the break I had in the show, but I got back on it. But you know, it was important. It was about my son, so it's what I got to do. And one of these days, I don't know, maybe one of these days, I will move up in the whole wasted lunch broadcast and maybe actually get some kind of camera or something I can run this stuff through. An independent system I can run the show through. I don't know. People have talked to me about other formats for the show, or well, not formats, but other services to do the show through. Other online services other than Facebook, but I'm having a good time doing it Facebook right now. So for right now, this is where I'm going to be. Unless I get, you know, some kind of money or something, some kind of friend who's really tech savvy or something to help out and come up with some way to simulcast this via another service. People have brought up a thing called Twitch or something like that. I don't know. Maybe I'll try that. But for right now, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be doing the Facebook. It's fun. So, but I think I'm going to get off of here, guys, and get back to what I need to get back to. Sat here, had a great time sitting here drinking my coffee, BSing with you guys. So, thanks for showing up. Thanks for wasting your lunch with me, guys. Sean, I know you're on here, dude. So I will wish you and anybody who watches this later on an awesome day. I hope things go fantastic for you guys. Hope that your day is just filled with happiness and love and things go great for you. And until then, I'm going to get off of here. And tomorrow, let's see, tomorrow's Saturday. I'm not going to be able to broadcast at noon, that's for sure. I'm not going to be in town, or I'm going to have to be doing some stuff around noontime, so. But I might do a late one, I don't know. But I'm going to hop off here. You guys have a great day. Thanks a lot. God love you. Be careful, and I'll see you later. Bye.